Today, we're going to dive into a really magical poem. It's one that treats words not just as, ink on a page, but as living, breathing creatures. We're exploring Pretty Words by Eleanor Morton Wiley, and we're going to see exactly how she makes language come alive.
So let's just start with this question right here. What if words were alive? I mean, really think about that for a second. What if they weren't just letters, but actual living things that you could see and touch? This amazing idea is right at the heart of the poem we're about to explore.
So, where did this poem come from? Well, it was written by the American poet Eleanor Morton Wiley. She was writing back in the 1920s and 30s, and she had this incredible knack for making language feel real, tangible, like you could actually reach out and hold the words in your hand. Okay, so in our first section, let's get right into it. We'll see exactly how Wiley pulls this off, how she transforms simple words into living things, almost like her own personal collection of pets.
The poem kicks off with this really powerful line, "Poets make pets of pretty docile words." Right away, she's inviting us into this world where words aren't just tools for writing, they're cherished companions, things you'd care for and love.
And check out how cleverly she matches specific kinds of words to specific animals. So smooth words become fish, tender words, they're like birds, shy words are deer, and lazy words are like cattle. It's amazing. She gives every single word its own unique personality and a physical form.
Now, for our second section, let's get into the how. How does she create these incredible images? What are the poetic tools she's using to basically paint these pictures in our minds?
First up, we have the simile. In Arabic, this is called tashbih, and it's a really common tool you'll see in poetry. All it is a comparison between two things using the magic words like or as.
Here is a perfect example straight from the poem. I love smooth words like gold enameled fish. You see that? The word like just instantly creates this beautiful picture in your head, comparing the smoothness of the words to the shiny scales of a fish. And yeah, that one little word, like, that's the key. It's the big signal that tells you, hey, we're looking at a simile here. It's a direct, clear comparison.
All right, next up is the metaphor, or istiara in Arabic. Now, this one is different from a simile. A metaphor is way more direct. It doesn't just say one thing is like another, it says one thing is another.
Take a look at this line. She doesn't say that words are like shy deer. Nope. She just says they are deep-eyed deer in herds. It's so much stronger, right? It feels like the words have actually transformed into the deer themselves.
The third device we're going to look at is personification, which in Arabic is tashkhis. This is what happens when you give human, or in this case, animal-like qualities to something that isn't alive, like a word.
And this line is a perfect example of that. I mean, words can't literally come to my hand or be playful, can they? By giving them these actions, Wiley makes her relationship with language feel so personal, so interactive.
So Wiley doesn't just make words look and act like animals. She makes them sound like them too. Let's dig into how she uses the actual sounds of language to make her images feel even more real.
First, we've got sibilance, or al-safir in Arabic. This is simply the repetition of those soft S or sh sounds. It often creates this really smooth, hissing kind of effect, almost like water flowing.
Now listen really closely to this line about the fish words, which circle slowly with a silken swish. Can you hear all those S sounds? Circle, slowly, silken, swish. It sounds just like the quiet movement of a fish in the water.
And our last sound device is a fun one, onomatopoeia. In Arabic, that's al-muhaqqad al-sawtiya. It's a huge word for a really simple idea. It's when a word sounds exactly like the noise it's describing. And here she describes words as kittens that are purring softly. The word purring is a perfect example of onomatopoeia. You don't just read it, you can almost hear the sound of a happy cat.
So we've seen gentle words, shy words, playful words. It really seems like the poet only cares about harmless, beautiful language. But in this final section, the poem takes a very interesting turn.
After all these gentle creatures we've met so far, you'd probably think the answer is yes, right? But the poem's last couple of lines reveal a much more complex and honestly a more intriguing idea.
And here's the twist. This is how the poem ends, with honeyed words like bees, gilded and sticky with a little sting.
Suddenly, these seemingly harmless little pets have a hidden danger.
This is just a brilliant way to show us the two sides of language. Think about it. A bee makes sweet honey, but it can also sting you. Wiley is telling us that words are just like that. They can be beautiful and sweet, but they also have the power to hurt.
So the big takeaway here is the incredible power that words hold. They can be pretty, sure, but they can also be dangerous. And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. What words in your own life have been both as sweet as honey and as sharp as a stick?